welcome to this episode of the Book Fix podcast, where we fix lives one book at a time. I'm your host, Cheli.
And I'm your host, Yajaira. And what is the tea for the day? What is our tea for the day? I love that we've started just talking about tea at the beginning of our episodes. Who are we?
I was going to wish you a happy Thursday, but way to get right into it.
No. Fuck that. What is the tea? Oh, wait, sorry. I just made a mistake. Cheli and I are going to try to censor each other, okay? F that.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, while you were talking, I was mid-prayer, but I guess I could tell you the tea for today. Because I know you know what? I want my coin back. Like, money doesn't grow out of trees.
Unfortunately, it doesn't. I really thought that it did.
I know. I've been looking at my tree. Now I feel like I don't even fucking need a tree. But apparently people have found a way to cheat the system. I don't know if you've heard, but there was apparently a person who went to a local bookstore and tried returning $800 worth of books.
Wait, it was a local bookstore? It wasn't a Barnes & Noble?
No, local. That's like if someone went to our local bookstore, the one that we go to.
Yes. Oh my God, that would be so embarrassing.
Also, if they had to
800?
accept that, dude.
800. Wait, do the math. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna guess that these 800 books each cost. What do you think? What do you think is like the flat rate of a book?
Just for you guys to know,
$20.
Yajaira is doing this mental
16,000?
math. She's just so good.
16,000?
I think that's for. Wait, hold on. How did you get that number? 26 books. I can't believe he returned 4 million books.
No, you said 800, no?
Yeah, $800 worth of books.
Oh, I thought you said
that's why I was like, oh my God.
You said
8,000 books?
I literally thought you said 800 books.
Okay, so
anyway,
if
that's still a lot.
If it was a local bookstore and let's say each of them were $15, that's being generous because most are a little more than that. It's like almost 53 books. And that's embarrassing. That is so embarrassing.
I mean, listen, if you really, really needed to return books, okay, fine. But like, you don't have to dump all 800 in one sitting because the poor person who was the cashier was probably looking at you like, why the fuck did you buy these in the first place?
There's like 2 things that give me the ick about this.
What?
It's, well, first off, the fact that they went to a local bookstore because those
I agree.
are barely running. Like it's really the love of books that keeps those going. And I mean, I'm thinking about our local one. It's really small. So the fact that
dude, everything is so cramped in there.
Yeah, and $800, that would really hurt.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this one could have been a bigger one, but still. I don't know. Well, it just feels. I feel like this is one of those like unwritten rules, right? Like, do you really need to return all of these? Like, you can because you're a consumer and you have every right to return these things you buy if you don't want them anymore. But should you really? Should you?
And it's like. Not talking about financial need, because if there is financial need, I 1000% understand why you would return them. But this one didn't feel like it was for financial need. Like this one just felt like, hey, I want my money back. So then it comes to like the point where what's the amount of time that is appropriate to still go and turn in a book?
What do you mean?
Like how long can you hold on to a book before you're like not allowed to turn it in for money?
I think normally it's about a month, no? 3 weeks?
You think so? Okay. I want you to put yourself in, you're a bookstore owner, okay? Just you're that role, okay?
Love this.
You've been here
love
for
role playing.
17 years. You live and breathe these books. You love it. And then you see me and you're like, oh my God, I used to do a podcast with her. Okay, no, wait.
Oh my God, I don't like this scenario.
Wait.
I'm uncomfy.
I still do a podcast with her. There comes Cheli.
Oh, okay.
If I returned a book that I bought from that bookstore and it was disgusting. Like it was
oh my God.
written in. I cried in it. You could tell I prayed in it.
Oh yeah. And that definitely leaves a mark. Mm-hmm.
Do you still give them money back? Because in local, sometimes they give you credit, right?
Yes, because I mean they do accept donations, but you don't really get money back for that. You just get credit. I think that, I mean, in retail stores, they don't take things back if it's obviously used. So I think the same should go for bookstores. I feel like if it's obviously used, then why would they accept it? And when I say accept it, I mean why would they pay you back the full amount that you paid if it's obviously used?
Yeah. And I keep thinking about our local bookstore because I do know that they do accept books like to give to them. And I don't know about you, but if I ever gave books to that bookstore, I'm not doing it expecting a really big amount back. You know?
Yeah, same. I'm just trying to help out.
Yeah, and then sometimes I don't want to hold on to a book, or I want someone else to hold on to it. Like even with us, because we do buy physical books, but you and I are very much like, oh my gosh, I took notes on it. Let's go leave it in a little library so that someone else can read it.
Yeah, and hopefully like our notes, and maybe if we didn't like the books, maybe someone else will enjoy it. But that is something that I like, but I don't expect to actually make money out of them.
Yeah, exactly. And if I did one day go to the local bookstore and they were like, hey, you turned in 6 books, here's like a $5 credit, I'd be like, oh fucking hell yeah. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, that would make me really excited too. Also, we didn't mention it, but shout out to Amivi. I think it's Amivi Reads on TikTok.
Yes.
Made this whole list of all of the things that have been going on in Book Talk world. And this was one of them. I don't know what number it was, but this was one of them. So she made a list.
Yeah. But enough about book tea because this is round 2. I think this is
round
unofficially
2.
Scarlett St. Clair's week, dude.
Unofficially, but officially. Imagine it's her birthday.
I know. Imagine we talk about her and she like feels us and she's like, oh my gosh, there's a presence. They're talking about
not
me.
A good one. It's not a good one.
It's those book girls again.
They're at it again. God damn it. Yeah. So last time. Hello. What day is it today? Thursday. So on Tuesday we talked about King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair, and today we're going to be talking about the sequel, Queen of Myth and Monsters.
When did this book come out?
I think it was sometime in December.
Because
I don't know. I made a
a
TikTok about it, and
exactly.
I just thought you would remember the date on that TikTok.
I don't remember the day, but I remember you talking about having to read, I think it was Realm Breaker. And you're like, how do I do that if I have to reread the first book of this? And
no,
I fucking love that.
It's because I had wanted to read Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard, but then unexpectedly I received Queen of Myth and Monsters earlier, and then I realized, oh shit, I have to reread King of Battle and Blood because I just can't go into the sequel without rereading the first one. That's crazy.
Yeah, of course, that's monstrous.
Exactly. So yeah, I think it just came out not too long ago.
Dang, dude. But we are going to be talking about this book. I don't know if you prepared a summary.
I did.
Oh my God. Thank God. Okay.
All right. So I do recommend for you to check out our Tuesday episode. That way you kind of are familiar with the world, with the characters. So I'm going to give a brief summary, and afterwards we're going to spoil everything. Okay?
Okay.
So Queen of Myth and Monsters is a continuation of King of Battle and Blood, where Isolde and Adrian have an arranged marriage because Adrian is conquering all of the kingdoms of Cordova, but when he gets to Kingdom of Lar, he says, you know what? I'll leave you guys alone if I can marry Isolde. And then it happens. And so Isolde is now the queen of Rebecca, which is the vampire kingdom. And this book is pretty much her attempt to find her place as the Blood King's queen. But their relationship is put to the test when their priorities don't align, as well as more is revealed as to why the goddess Dice turned Adrian into the Blood King.
Dang. good summary.
Oh my God, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. I always look forward to hear your thoughts of whether or not you like my summaries. And if you say, if you don't say anything at all, I'm like, you know what?
I know, right. Then you hang up.
You're right. Let me do that again. That was a rough draft.
Like Yajaira said, we don't spoil in this summary, but we are going to spoil for the rest of the episode. Yeah. So we do recommend that you go read this first so it makes more sense. But if you are into...
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
What would we say this is?
If you're into arranged marriage, dark romance fantasy, if you're into vampires, smut heavy books, then we would definitely recommend this duology. Yes. But there's going to be more than 2.
Okay, so I want to guess how you feel about this book.
Okay.
And I'm trying to be better about that thing we talked about, where sometimes when we guess what the other person is feeling, we accidentally reveal how we're feeling.
You do that very often.
I don't mean to, but I think
you did that for Hellbent. Exactly. Did you notice that you did that for Hellbent?
I did. I did notice. I listened back to that episode and I was like, God damn it. I'm not good at keeping secrets. But I thought about this one. I put my 2 brain cells to the test.
And rubbed them together.
I'm going to say that you like this book because you like Adrian and Isolde. I don't think you liked everything in this book. And I specifically remember a conversation we had when you were 16 and I was 15. This is how real this is. I think it was 15. It was either that or 16 and 17. Or 16 and 16, you know. Oh, yeah.
That one special week.
That special week we're the same age and I disrespect you. It's like a running on joke because Yajaira is older than me.
It's fine. Just keep going.
Okay. Anyway.
It's a joke between us.
Do you know what I'm talking, like where I'm going?
No, towards? I don't. We'll keep going. I'm very lost right now.
When we were younger, you once told me that you read a story and that you loved it. And you were so torn because you loved it so much. And you told me about it. And I was like, well, it sounds good. And you were like, yeah, but there was this point where they had built up their relationship and then all of a sudden one of the characters slapped the other character and you hated it so much. And like the fact that you complained about it to me like said a lot about how much you hated that. And that happens in this book more than once. Yeah, and I do understand that it's a dark romance because, I mean, I do understand that it's a dark romance because, I mean, in Battle and Blood, she literally stabbed this fucking guy twice, too. But there's something different about it being a slap.
So the slap is more personal.
Exactly. And I know that about you. So
I don't know how you remember this because I barely remember that story. Do you remember what story I was talking about?
I can tell you more about it later. Dude, yes, okay. I do.
You do?
But anyway.
I'm very interested.
I know that about you. So I know that your heart wants to give it a 5, but because of how you feel about that, I'm going to say this is hard. Can I make 2 guesses?
No.
God damn it.
Do the average.
Then I'm just going to
average it out.
I'm just going to go with my heart. Because of that slap, I don't think you'll give this book higher than a 2.
Okay.
That's my guess. And I'm so confident. I'm so confident.
Okay.
I did my research. Do you see my 2 brain cells? Love it.
You really did that. I don't know how you remember that, to be honest.
Me neither. I forget everything.
I know. That's what I was going to say, but I didn't want to roast you. I was going to say you have the memory of a goldfish, but me too, though.
Wait, of a what? No, just kidding. I'm kidding. I remember that.
Okay. My guess for you is that I think you preferred the first book. I think you enjoyed it overall. I mean, you gave it like a 3 or something. So overall, you were kind of vibing with it. When the slap happened, I did think about you because I've mentioned it before. Sometimes things happen and I'm like, yeah, she's gonna mark this little thing right here is gonna be tabbed right here. I don't think that you enjoyed where the story was going overall, though. I don't know if you still care about the couple, though. I'm going to guess that maybe you do a little bit. But I don't think you cared for, like, the plot. Like, where it was... Because it expanded a little bit more. And I don't know if you really liked it. I think you would give this book a 1.
Dang. What a change. Well,
you gave the other one a 3, so it's not that much of a difference.
But, I mean, why don't we just get into it? I don't think we have to talk much about the characters, but because we did in our first episode,
which on our Tuesday episode. Check it out. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. And actually, before we continue, it would be amazing if you guys could give us 5 stars. It definitely helps out. I think that we have kind of skyrocketed a little bit more. Well, compared to how we were before. So yeah. It definitely means a lot to us if you could do that. And then leave us a review if you like. And let us know if you like this book.
Yeah, and if you're listening to us on YouTube, if you can leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Comment how you feel if you have read the first book. If you've read this book, do you agree with us with the hesitation of that slap?
The apprehension.
So apprehension. Oh my God. Ugh. Get you someone that completes your sentences correctly. Okay.
It's the same. It's literally just... never mind. I'm just going to shut up.
Thank you. I told you I only had 2 brain cells. I already put them to the test. That's as much as I could do.
You're today. Like, I'm done for the day, guys. That's it. I'm checked out.
So when this story starts, we already have a solid relationship with Adrian and Isolde, but the death of Isolde's father is still really, really fresh. Yeah. And she's kind of in like a weird point because they're trying to rule these places, right? They're trying to rule all the houses, or at least like make ties with them. But she's in like a weird...
That doesn't really happen in this book, though, because this book is definitely more focused on catching who it was that betrayed Adrian and revealed that Isolde is his weakness. So he's trying to catch 2 different people. And yes, Isolde is trying to get past what happened with her dad, but also be the queen that she wants to be for Laura, but she's doing it for Rebecca. So
yes,
I don't know if we mentioned it in the first book, but Ravenna is here. She's back. She's fucking shit up, and she's making this like crimson mist, which pretty much kills people. And then there's a whole bunch of monsters like roaming around and shit. And so Adrian tells Isolde, like, don't put yourself in danger, because obviously if she dies, he dies. And well, not just that, but also he cares about her. And shit hits the fan. He's not there. He's looking for these traitors, and she wants to be, you know, a good queen. So she fights alongside her people, which is great. But then she ends up getting bit by an off-hawker, which was described to be like a demon dog. Mm-hmm. And unexpectedly, I didn't expect that she would fucking turn into a monster herself.
Dude, it's funny because I read the book that Yajaira annotated. So as soon as that bite happened, you and I thought the same thing, where it was like, oh, this is fucking happening fast. Like didn't think, like I did expect that she would turn, I thought, to a vampire.
Yeah,
so the
same.
fact that she turned to this monster first kind of threw me off.
Yeah. And I kind of hated it because in the first book, I mean, okay, it literally lasted until almost the end, where her perception kind of shifts a little bit. But I thought that she would have kind of gotten over that whole prejudice of, oh, I hate monsters, I don't want to be a monster. And so she's obviously freaking out when she realizes that she's turning into this monster. And I just think she's kind of mean to Adrian. I feel like Adrian was trying to play it off like, oh, look at you, you're so cute, like whatever, you know, but she was obviously angry. Yeah. And then the amount of times that they fought in this book was so unnecessary. Like, it drove me insane. It felt like they were fighting every other chapter.
Can I just say that this fight was one of the first fights in the book? And I did think that this fight was a little bit justified, only because she was panicking. Like, I don't agree with what she said, but I think like when it came to that point, everything that she was like ingrained into believing kind of just surfaced. So the fact that she was like, I'm a monster, you don't get it, I'm a monster, and it was fucked up. And I do like how he handled it. Like, you know, maybe he could have been there for her more, but I mean, to him it wasn't that big of a deal
because he's literally a monster.
Yeah,
I feel like he doesn't realize that it actually bothers her at the moment. Obviously later on he'll be like, oh shit, it really mattered to her. But in the moment he's like trying to play it off like, you know, it's okay, it's all right, I still love you, you're still pretty. But the reason why it bothered me was because Isolde has this knack for saying things that she knows is going to cut really deep. Because she tells him, oh, so you failed then. And he was like, oh, you're still alive, aren't you? And she's like, yeah, but not the way. Because he had told her that he would take care of her and protect her. And that part pissed me off because it's like, I mean, Isolde, you were the one who ran to the fucking danger. So...
Yep.
Why are you so angry with him? And he wasn't even there, so it's not like he could have protected you if he wanted to.
And I think this was the fight too, where I don't know if it was in this one or the other one, but she would always be like, you know what? I don't want to fucking touch you. I don't want you to touch me. Get out of my fucking face. And that's how their fights would end. And honestly, every fight that ended like that made it feel like they broke up. So I was always kind of like,
are you guys still married? Are you guys still married?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So it's very different from the first book because I never imagined, well, I mean, there's a reason behind everything, but I never imagined Adrian to be like fighting with her so much.
Yeah.
But then it does bring up in the book, like, it was a quick marriage and they're starting to get to know each other now. So, of course, they're going to have disagreements, but my God, it's so much.
Yeah, it definitely piles up. But then also they're fighting because she wants to take care of the kingdom of Lara because obviously now her dad is dead, so they don't have, you know, a king or a queen or anything. And so she wants to go over there and present herself, I guess, as their queen. But Adrian can't leave Rebecca because of the Crimson Mist and all of these monsters and him trying to find the traitors. And he doesn't want her to leave because, you know, their lives are tied together. Yeah. And so that also prompts a fight. And I understand that she wants to be a good leader. But at times I feel like she doesn't really, or I should say, she always assumes the worst in him. So she'll immediately say, oh, it's because you don't care about my people. And it's like, no, that's not why. It's because I literally can't leave right now. Like, we can leave another day.
It was kind of the same with, because she wants to rule the kingdom of Rebecca, of Lara, and also of the third place that belongs to her mom.
Yeah.
And there is a situation where it was like, have you even talked to that kingdom? Have you told them anything? Have you looked into it? And he hadn't. But it was like, bitch, there's like 5,000 different things that's happening right now.
Yeah.
You can't expect him to go into this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to make some time for them. Yeah.
So I really disliked the fact that he sent someone the next day.
Oh. But it was sad because he did it for her. And she even started crying because, you know, all of the pent up emotions. So she was like, oh my God, babe. And he was like, you know, I'd do anything for you, babe. But of course, this person fucking died. I mean, sorry, no more cursing. This person effing died. So it's like we're going to try to censor ourselves, but not really.
This person effing dead as fuck. But I mean, okay, but to backtrack a little bit, Adrian did bring up that because he didn't want her to go alone to the kingdom of Lara, it was like, why don't you just send Killian? Because
Killian is still fucking here. Oh, sorry. Killian is still here.
It's still here. Fuck.
But,
dude, didn't it throw you off? Because Killian seemed like a whole different person.
He completely changed. His character changed. He was a fucking asshole in the first book. And now he was super sweet, super nice, super loyal. He was like, Queen, I'll do anything for you. And everybody in Rebecca loved him because he was so helpful. And I was like, this is not the same man. This is not the same person I was introduced to in the first book.
I kind of would have liked it if it had gotten to that point a little bit in the first book, or at least if they had sprinkled in that they did have a friendship, because it felt so different here. Like, it felt like he was a different person. But
he did kind of help at the end of the first book, but I just don't think it was enough, or
no, it wasn't.
Not strong enough anyway. It didn't really make an impact on me.
And the fact that she was so quickly to forgive, because it felt like he had done something horrible to her in the first book that was just like never spoken about. And I'll be very honest with you, this book does start with a trigger warning, and it did say that it was going to include R word. And I was so like, I thought that it was going to be between Killian and Isolde. Like, I thought that's where it was headed. So I was worried because I thought he was getting too comfy, and I'm glad that never happened. But even now, I don't know. I get weirded out by Killian because I don't know if I'm supposed to like him or not.
He still gives me the ick. Like, I feel like on the third book, he's going to be a whole different person again.
Dude, but Killian, he had a romance in this book.
It was very short-lived, but yeah, he did.
Yeah, literally. But I feel so bad about that one, though, because I liked her a lot.
So did I. She was so cute.
And you want to explain what happened?
She didn't even want to be a part of it. Well, we're kind of going off the rails because we're still talking about Isolde's character.
Oh, I forgot.
I just want to say that with Isolde, I was a little bit worried that she was going to be turned into a vampire, like near the beginning of the story, because she does mention it when she goes out and, you know, tries to help everyone before she gets bitten by the Offhawker or whatever, the demon dog. There's a moment where she says, "Oh, I'm just so weak. Like, you know what? If I was a vampire, like, I could save everyone. I could be a better queen." And she had multiple moments where she was thinking that, and I just thought that maybe that would be her reasoning, which I don't think is a bad reasoning. I mean, it's better than, "Babe, I want to live with you forever, so like just bite me right here." But I just felt like she wasn't ready.
Coming for Twilight like that.
What? I didn't say nothing. But I just felt like the reason behind it was understandable, but I just knew that she wasn't ready, especially because they were always freaking fighting.
But when she did turn, it was super anticlimactic.
It really was. I was like, is she even a vampire? Is she a vampire?
I know, because it kind of just happened, and then the next day happened, and she's like, "Babe, let's go eat fucking tacos." Well, not really, but it like felt very,
there's no
like,
tacos here.
Okay, that's a thing now. And she even went up to Killian and was like, "I can turn you." It's like, "Wait, you turn?"
He's like,
she's
what?
like, "Yeah,
yeah," because it's not even. It's like not, yeah. It's like not even obvious that she's a vampire. Like, what's the difference here? She's just like, what is it? Like, I don't understand.
I hate it. Like, I didn't think anything had happened. I kind of forgot that she was a vampire, to be honest.
Same. But so, like I said, Ravenna, she's back. She's back, better than ever. Love that for her. And she has the Book of Dice, which contains a whole bunch of crazy ass spells that Isolde actually created in her past life when she was Yesenia. And she's worried that she's gonna pretty much try to kill Adrian or what. I don't even know. Like, what exactly is the conflict here? But so she wants to kill Ravenna, but she can't because Isolde doesn't really have magic. So she's trying to invoke her magic once again in this lifetime. And so it's Anna, which is Adrian's cousin, and they need a third person. Why? Because all good things come in threes, I guess. And so they ask Violeta, which is her like maid, and they try to do this like binding spell. And okay, so much happens. There's a lot of plot in this book.
It all goes wrong.
It all hits the fan, and Violeta ends up dying, R.I.P. And Isolde kind of goes through another villain arc. Like, she goes a little feral. Like, it really hurts her that she lost Violeta, and she's almost losing Anna as well, because Anna is like in a comatose state. Like, she's not really waking up.
I didn't really understand this part, because how much time passed?
What do you mean?
Like, this entire thing, because I remember Anna wasn't responding, and she was calling out to her, right?
Yes, she was. I think that moment of when they were getting into the water and they were trying to make this spell or whatever was very confusing, but I think it was supposed to be confusing to not really understand what happened. So the villagers, or like some villagers, pretty much came and tried to kill them because there's this other guy who showed up in Rebecca whose name is Solaris, and yes, he is the same as Adrian, where he was morphed by the goddess Dice, but she gave him the power of killing witches. And remember, Isolde was a powerful witch, and so it causes tension between her and Adrian because everyone immediately trusts this guy. And so he's like staying around, hanging around, and she's just like, no, like just it's just like a bad omen for her because of who she was before.
Yeah.
But
can I ask for like a clarification thing?
Sure.
When that spell didn't work, was Anna R-worded?
So she went back in time. Like she saw herself in her past life when she was Yesenia. And they were talking about King
Isolde saw this?
Yeah, it was in Isolde's head that she was hearing Anna. She was hearing Anna. But she went back into a memory of her past life. And in this memory, King Dragos, which was the king of Rebecca, so before Adrian, who he was like a tyrant, he had a lot of women in his like dungeon where people can come and do as they fucking pleased, I guess. And Anna would try to save these girls, and she got caught, and she revealed to Yesenia at the time, Isolde now, that when he caught her, he pretty much abused her, and he had like all of the guys there take advantage of her, and it was like really, really sad.
Okay, that's what I that I didn't understand. I sometimes got confused when they would do like those flashbacks because I just felt like everyone was calling Isolde Yesenia.
Yeah, so. I feel like that's the only indicator of when you knew that, oh, we're in the past now. Yeah, I kind of wish that the flashbacks would have been done better. And also those moments of when she would go into haze and then she would have those flashbacks. I don't know, like it was a little bit confusing.
You know what else kind of threw me off?
What?
We had mentioned in our Tuesday episode about the first book that I would drop this book if it was going to be another Kikyo Kagome situation.
Oh like my God, yes. We did talk about Inuyasha.
I was not down for that. And you even wrote it in the book. You were like, is this gonna be Kikyo and Kagome? Like, is there gonna be two of them?
Yeah, I'm glad so the High Coven was killed by Dragos and Ravenna, and the High Coven was just the most powerful witches, and Yesenia was a part of them. And so Adrian, he like buried them in like a special place, like of where they used to live, I don't know, or just be, and her ashes get stolen. So I mean, technically we could see a Kagome and Kikyo in the next book because we don't know what happened with her ashes.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't want it. But it kind of throws me off because I can't imagine that happening because of how often Isolde is like, you know, me, Yesenia, back then. And it's like you don't talk about it as if you're two separate people. She did at one point, but then sometimes she just talks about it like, oh, these are my memories. Yeah. You know? Mm-hmm. She did call Adrian out once, though, and was like, do you love me or do you love her? Choose, bitch. But yeah.
It's like, how do I get to choose? The other you is dead.
Yeah.
Or is she? Maybe she's not. Because, so it was revealed that they wanted to use the ashes or her bones or whatever to try to create like a weapon against Adrian. So there is a weapon in the making. We don't know what it is. I feel like it will be Yesenia, honestly. So yeah.
Do you feel like there's going to be conflict between who he loves if she comes back?
Oh my God. I don't want this.
That sounds bad.
This sounds confusing because it's like, babe, wait, I love both of you. It's turned into polyamory.
Oh my god.
This is disgusting.
Which one are you, Yesenia or Yesenia 2.0?
So just Yesenia then, I guess. No, I would be really, really upset if that's what this book turns into, because I don't want that at all.
Yeah, me neither. And I mean, how do I say this? I don't think that's where it's going, because like I said, they connect Isolde and Yesenia's memories as if it's her own. And I'm just going to accept that fact, even if I don't like it. Okay, that is what it is. There was another part that confused me. What? Because there's a part where Isolde is having like aches, I think. And is it Anna who asks her if she's carrying a child?
Yeah, so that was in the past.
But that's as Yesenia. Okay.
That's as Yesenia. So Yesenia and Adrian were expecting a baby, but she never told Adrian. Adrian doesn't know. That's so sad.
But Isolde was the one who wanted to tell him, right? Like it was a memory of Yesenia's, but Isolde was the one who wanted to go out and tell Adrian. Was it?
I don't. What? I don't know. Because then she would have told him. She didn't tell him though.
I don't. Yeah. Well, no, they didn't, because then the story kind of started going really fast after that point. I don't remember there was what no happened time next, because I remember that happened and she was devastated, and then the traitor appeared. Right? Was it around this time?
Who?
The traitor.
There was two.
My boy.
Oh, Soren. That one. Oh, I thought you were talking about the other one. Okay,
this one hurt.
That was near the end though. But yeah. So she gets betrayed. She gets fucking betrayed by none other than Soren, who we were rooting for in the first one. They actually do get close to each other though. They do have a connection together, and he even tells her, like, if you remembered, your life as Yesenia, then you would understand why Adrian needs to die, because he's being taken over by the goddess of dice, and it's kind of out of nowhere in my opinion. But so Adrian was fine in the first book, but in the second book it's like, because he was transformed into a vampire by the goddess, she has more she has she has more influence on him than what was expected or revealed, I guess. And so Soren tells Isolde, I mean, you see his eyes, you see that his eyes are changing, you know that he's losing control, he's not being a good king to us, he's forgetting, what matters. And so he tries to kill Isolde, or he kind of does, because he leaves her for dead. And then he just leaves. Honestly, for me, it wasn't that much of a shock that it was Soren that betrayed her. But it still kind of hurt. It still kind of hurt.
I think what made it hurt more was the fact that he felt bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was crying.
And it sucks too, because you can tell that everything he had said to her before wasn't just like a ruse to try to get close to her. It was genuine, because he even had like moments of vulnerability where he talked about his relationship with his partner Derek. Is that his name?
Darrow.
And I like those points, because he would just talk to her like a friend. He would be like, I think my guy likes your guy, don't make it weird.
Oh, I know. He was feeling really insecure, and he was like, I think Darroch is in love with Adrian. And she was like, what? No.
They look at them, and it's like Adrian practicing like sword swinging, and Derek is like behind him like, no, you hold it like this. And she's like, no, they couldn't possibly be in love with each other.
He's helping. Yeah.
But I like those moments, because you got to see the type of friendship that they had and how close they were. So it hurt when he betrayed her. But I understood where he was coming from, because it was like a lose battle, like a lose-lose battle. So I felt really bad.
So did I. And
what about the...
But wait, but he's not the only one who betrayed her, though, because in their conversation when he was stabbing her, or he stabbed her, she was like, oh, so it was you who told Ravenna that about the bloodletting, about their lives being linked together. So if Isolde dies, then Adrian dies. And he was like, no, that wasn't me. So it's like, wait, bitch, who? There's another one?
Mid-sword in her chest, and she's like, oh, excuse me, I can't die yet. You gotta tell me.
We gotta figure this out right now.
And who was the second traitor?
Fucking Anna. I fucking can't. It was Anna,
dude,
because she stole the book, right? She had the book, no?
Yeah, or she did.
I think she memorized the spells, and she was the one who created the Crimson Mist. But she was like, well, actually, it was you, Queen. You were the one who created it. I just released it.
Yep.
But everyone's so anti-Adrian. So
you know what I love?
It's not the vibe.
Not the vibe I'm here for. Mm-mm. I really liked, there was this one point, I think it was with his BFF, maybe his lover, Derek.
Oh my God. I just want to say I did really like their moments together, though. Like, I felt like they were actually forming a genuine friendship.
No, I did too. But I did want to mention that there was this one point where he was talking to Adrian and he was like, okay, what's the next move? Because, we got to reach our goal. And then Adrian's like, oh, what's our goal? It's like, isn't it to rule the houses? Like, isn't that our goal? And Adrian's like, damn, we've been in this battle for so long. I forgot that was the point. And that really speaks on like how often things go wrong. Yeah. And even like his talk with Isolde when he was like, yeah, everyone in the world is going to betray us. We really only have each other. That fucking sucks.
That does suck. Yeah, because when they realized that it was Soren, he was like, I mean, am I shocked? Not really.
I felt bad for Derek.
I am very conflicted because when Soren was showing his vulnerability to Isolde, he did reveal that the way that he was turned into a vampire was very like, it just was very uncomfortable because Derek pretty much like forced it on him.
Yeah.
And he was like, I never really wanted this. So it kind of feels like, do they really love each other, or are they just like used to one another?
And that was the question that was asked by Isolde, because she was like, I know that you love him, but are you in love with him? That's the question you should ask yourself. And I don't think Soren is, but I do think Derek is. But then you're right. It could be out of guilt.
I think he feels guilty because even when Soren leaves and Derek feels like super guilty about everything, he's telling Adrian like, don't worry, boss, I'll get rid of him. I should have gotten rid of him. I'm gonna do it right now.
While him and Adrian are sharing one milkshake with 2 straws. It's like, babe, I mean king.
He's just like, please, babe, I mean Adrian.
Okay, I'm just gonna go rest. I won't kill him. See you later, babe.
Oh God, what do I call you?
Have you seen that TikTok where it's like these 2 guys saying bye to each other, and it's like, okay, bye, dude, bye, man, see you later, and they kiss on the lips. And they were like, did we just fucking kiss? This is their vibe.
So
Thank
romantic. You. I love that. But yeah, that. A lot happens in this book. It's kind of crazy because it's very smut heavy, but there's a lot of plot.
Yeah, there is. Dude, I'll be very honest with you, because of I was really into the plot. I don't really remember the smut much because I had 2 days to read this book. So I was kind of going through it, and anytime the smut came on, I was just like, okay, I could skim forward. I don't have to read the whole thing. But
what? How dare you?
I didn't really read. Well, I read one of them and I was like, wow, slay. But like the rest I could live without. But this kind of leads us to the end of the story.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't really touch on Adrian's character much, but
well, can I just say, still love that man. And I feel really bad for him because he knew that he was turning because of the Book of Dice. Dice? Is it Dice? Dice?
I call her Dice, but it could be Dice. I don't know.
Okay, well, the Book of Dice. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that he didn't want to hurt anyone, but it hurt me when he was like, if I try to hurt you, you have to kill me. And she was like, you can't make me kill you because then I have to live with the fact that I murdered you. But he doesn't want to live with the fact that he
could accidentally kill her because there are moments where he's not even himself anymore. It's the goddess Dice who like completely takes over him.
And it sucks because that conversation kind of just ends with both of them frustrated because it's like there's nothing they could do where one of them wins. Mm-hmm. You know, they're both kind of fucked.
And it was really sad, that moment where he got really jealous of Killian and he kind of lost control and he ended up accidentally he made out with her, but then he accidentally bit her and she just kind of looked at him like, what the fuck? And then you can tell that he just felt so guilty and so surprised by his own actions. And
he had hurt her again another time. Mm-hmm. And you can tell that it had affected him because he was like, no, I can't keep hurting you. Like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
It sucked. I did really feel for him. I felt like he has so much responsibility and so many unloyal freaking people.
These bitches just
who made this kingdom?
Yeah, but I also really like that he never pretended to be a good guy, and even from the very beginning, it's very obvious that he's just fueled by like bloodlust, pretty much, and the need for revenge for what happened in the past 200 years ago. But yeah, no, I still like his character overall. I just feel bad for him.
It's funny because
love is a very strong word.
I do. I really like his character. I can't say I feel the same for Isolde. It's not that I dislike her character, but I was more frustrated with her, mostly because of the fights, because it felt like they were all kind of fueled by her.
Yeah. I feel like everything she says is so mean, like so hurtful.
And I mean, I kind of understand that in the first book, she is painted to be super like quick-witted. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this one just felt rude. This one felt kind of like bullying.
Oh, and then when she slapped him, did we even talk about that?
Oh my god, how did
we didn't even talk about
it? We were
fucking my god. 50 minutes later, we didn't even mention it.
Dude, we gotta put like a little disclaimer at the beginning, like go to 50 minutes to finally talk about what we talked about at the first minute of this podcast.
you're gonna have to listen to all of this to get to this part.
Dude, I almost fucking forgot. I fucking hated that.
Same.
Thank you. Oh my god. If you had let that slide.
It literally took me out of the story for a second. I had to pause
it would,
because I was just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what just happened? I don't even remember why she slapped him. Was it because of Solaris? I don't remember. Either way, yes, not justified, girl. Not justified. What the hell? Because I feel like she's always just assumed the worst in Adrian and of Adrian. So she just makes I don't know, like she answers her own questions because she doesn't want to just communicate. She doesn't want to tell him, hey, I don't like that you're keeping this witch killer in our kingdom after what happened, 2 centuries ago. And I'm not saying that that's not valid, but I hated the fact that she hit him. Because even he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like, and the thing, like, I would have understood if I don't want to justify it because I hate it. Mm-hmm. But it was a lot to take in because he was like one person who was, he's a witch hunter, right? Solaris was. Yeah. So Solaris. Of course.
And it would have been convenient because keep in mind, it's them against Ravenna as well. And so that means that he can kill Ravenna.
Yes. So I kind of understood where Isolde was coming from. Mm-hmm. I don't like that she slapped him, but I felt like it was a lot of emotions at once. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try to keep reading. But then the 2 other things happened. There was one situation where she even tells him, I hate you. Isn't it?
Yeah.
and she stabs him and slaps him. The fucking double hit.
Because she felt like the slap wasn't enough. She even said like, I'm not hurting him enough. And so she like digs her hand into his chest, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
That is the worst.
She stabbed him with like her own hand, pretty much.
I fucking hated that. And honestly, because he turned and he left. He didn't. Oh, no. She left. But he didn't go after her. And then they had not seen each other for a while. And then their way of forgiving each other was just kind of like looking at the stars, I think. They did something that was supposed to be like, oh, it's cute.
Oh,
I would have been okay if he had just fucking left. Like, it should have been her that apologized, not him. I don't get why he would think he would have to.
Mm-hmm. But it's weird because I felt like, I don't know. I felt like the character of Isolde didn't really match anymore because she got really, really angry in this moment. Okay. So she slapped him. Okay. Just, I hated that moment a lot. But then later on, when Adrian started to change, I don't know, because she didn't know what was happening at first. And I felt like her anger didn't make sense anymore. Like, because she wasn't really angry when he was slowly changing into whatever the goddess was doing to him. And so I was like, okay, you're going to be pissed about this, but you're not pissed about that. I'm very confused. Like, she didn't feel like the same character sometimes. And I'm not saying that I wanted her to stab him, but I like still like I was like, okay, you're one way 1 second and then the next day you're like, no, babe. Oh, I remember why. It was because she told him, I'll be like, I'm here with you till the end. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, no matter what, you and I, end game. And it's like, bitch,
dude,
what?
It was so
end game?
toxic.
You just slapped him like 5 chapters ago.
Dude, it was toxic. I hated it.
Yeah. And not the good toxic by Britney Spears, the bad toxic.
I know. The bad toxic. Anything not by Britney Spears. I couldn't stand their relationship in this one. And I hated it because I still was kind of holding on to the relationship they had formed in the first book. Mm-hmm. And I mean, those moments would shine in this book, but I couldn't. It didn't excuse the fact that she did that twice. And the fact that when it happened the second time, he physically had to stop her from slapping him. I hate that. Like, that's kind of triggering, actually, that they would do it like that.
Yeah, it actually really pissed me off. And it also pissed me off that he was the one who always had to apologize to her. It's like, what the fuck is this? What is this love story?
He would apologize often, and another triggering thing is the fact that I don't even remember the context, and honestly maybe the context in this one was justified, but because he apologized so often, she had once told him, don't apologize with your words. If you're apologizing a lot, reflect and change how you fucking act. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Adrian works day and night, okay?
That bitch doesn't fucking sleep, okay?
He has not slept in a... Derek stay up all night during their slumber parties, okay? He works. I swear he does.
No, they're just conspiring together. That's all. Nothing weird.
Dude, I can't wait for the third book where Derek and Adrian accidentally kiss and it changes. Because that's where this is fucking leading up.
Yeah, can you imagine that? That'd be kind of crazy.
Dude, I hope I manifested it because I can't stand both of them right now.
I just don't see where the fuck this story is going because the way that it ended was so abrupt that I couldn't even believe that it ended. I was like, what the fuck happened?
Dude, that's why I texted you. I was around the end. And I didn't even notice when I had texted you. I told you, okay, I'm going to be done in an hour when I told you we were going to film. And I finished it like 30 minutes early. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, how did it? How am I at the acknowledgements? What the fuck happened? I don't even understand what happened at the end. Can you explain it to me?
So pretty much Isolde realizes that Anna was the one who was behind everything. And they have a conversation and Anna tells her, no, Isolde, you have to realize that the reason that you made this book was to stop Adrian. Like, that's why you made it. And so you, me, and Ravenna till the end. And even Ravenna tells her, because Ravenna reveals herself in like mirrors. And so she tells Isolde, like, no, you have to realize that you don't remember what happened, or I don't even. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like this reveal was so confusing to me. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to flip Isolde into working alongside with Ravenna instead of trying to take her down. But if she works alongside Ravenna, then that means that they're gonna have to kill Adrian, and they're trying to tell her that she made this book to kill him. But I don't know, like, I feel like it's just confusing. I was just going to say, like, by the end of the book, she smashes the mirrors again, because she's done that before in the first book. And then she's, like, freaking the fuck out. And then she sees Adrian, right? And I think they, like, hug each other or something.
Yeah.
I was so confused.
And that's kind of where it ends, right?
Yeah, like, that's pretty much it. And then I think Anna... I don't even know what happens with Anna, because I don't even think she actually saw her. I think it was like her dream state. I don't even know.
It was her dream state because she wasn't there. But does that mean that Yesenia didn't love Adrian?
I don't know. I'm so confused.
Because it kind of felt like that, right?
I think that's what they were trying to hint at, but I don't know if they're just trying to manipulate her, because she doesn't, like, she has some of her memories back, but she doesn't remember everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I think that the moments that she does remember with Adrian, they're always really, like, cute, romantic, like, full of love. So I don't know what is happening. Like, what is the story? Where is the story going? If she was trying to kill Adrian. And it also doesn't really make sense that she wanted to kill Adrian in the past life, because he wasn't even a vampire yet. He was just some basic soldier.
Basic bitch, you can say it.
Yeah, a basic bitch. And when he was a soldier, he was trying to take down Dragos, who was trying to kill the witches. So I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Anything.
Period.
Okay, so we are reading the third book, right?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe you should go.
Well, I guess it kind of depends. Yeah, it kind of depends on both of our overall thoughts.
I feel like
who should go first?
Because I feel like you should start, because I have a lot to say.
Okay, well, what if I have a lot to say?
You don't.
You're right. Okay, so
I fucking know you.
I'm a little disappointed. Okay, I'm gonna change that. I'm a lot disappointed. A lot disappointed.
A lot. Please don't say that again.
I'm very disappointed in this book, because this is not what I expected at all after reading that first book. Like, I did expect a continuation after the king's death, and I was kind of expecting a revolt with Lara, which it kind of hinted that was going to happen, because people would have just thought that Adrian killed the king.
Yeah,
that's what I was expecting. And I just wanted to see a book where, like, the houses kind of came together because they worked on bringing them together. That's what just the king and queen freaking against the world. That's all I fucking wanted. So all this fucking Yesenia flashbacks, but they're not, because I'm her. Like, I was not there for that shit. I was there for Isolde when she would act as a queen and help. I fucking love that shit, but that didn't really continue much. Like, she would train. She would train with Soren, but I feel like that didn't really lead anywhere.
Not really, no. Because she was trying to control her turning into the demon dog.
Yeah, but I don't know. It didn't seem like anything. I still really like Adrian, but I don't think I like him enough to continue this series, because I don't know. I don't like where this is leading, but I am curious to see how it would end, because of, all the shit show that was this book. Like, I don't even know where the next one would begin. One thing I did like, which we didn't mention, is
we didn't talk about likes.
is the houses were named after women. So, like, Lara, Rebecca, and I noticed that in the first book. I didn't think much of it, and honestly, it probably doesn't mean shit either. But Nadia, did we talk about Nadia?
Dude, no, we didn't talk about Nadia, but it's fine. You could just say it now.
Okay, well, Nadia was fucking in on it, I guess. I don't know. She basically said that, men always fuck shit up, so we have to kill all these men. and she was the one in charge of all these people dying. And I kind of hated that reveal because it felt like it was built out of nothing. So
yeah, and then she tried to kill Isolde, just like her father. Love that. Oh my god,
dude, it's stuck. I don't know. It's just, I feel like that would have been more impactful, but I didn't give a fuck about Nadia, to be honest. And everything in this book felt anticlimactic. And I am disappointed in it again. I think I would give this book, because I did enjoy reading it still, I would give this book like a 2.5 out of 5.
What? I thought the slap would have for sure given it a 1.
No, it was don't get me wrong, it was bad. But I don't know, the writing is still really pretty though. Mostly the way Adrian speaks to Isolde.
Mostly just Adrian.
He speaks so beautifully. But it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. I'll make it 2.5 out of 5.
Wow. Add a clapping track. Go.
That's me snapping. One clap.
Just one tiny one. Okay. I have a lot to say. We didn't really talk about likes much. I felt like we were just kind of ranting the whole time. But I do want to start off by saying that I feel like the plot of the story overall is really, really good. I like the ingredients of everything. So I love that it's a story that's fueled by revenge. And I like that there's 2 different goddesses. One that's the goddess of life. One that's the goddess of the spirit.
Oh, yeah.
And I like that one of them gave life, but also death to Adrian by turning him into a vampire and just made him into this like bloodthirsty thing. But I feel like the story kind of lost itself. And I really don't want to come for Scarlett saying Clair, but it was a little obvious that she didn't really know where the story was going. And she revealed it in her acknowledgments that she didn't really know where the story was going. It was a little obvious because there was no indication in the first book that Adrian was still being controlled by the goddess of dice. Because if you remember in the first book, when he's telling Isolde everything, you know, how he was turned into a vampire, how they knew each other, like that moment of, you know, when he's letting her in, she asks him like, oh, so then you're doing this because of the goddess, right? And he's like, no, because he doesn't really believe in the goddesses or doesn't really follow them. And he tells her, no, like I'm not, like she doesn't control me, like I'm not doing it for her. But he is though. Like this whole revenge plan is because of the goddess of dice. And if he was lying to Isolde, then that should have been revealed in this book because it wasn't his point of view. And that was never touched on. Like, I just felt like there was so much happening in a way where it was just confusing. What I would have really liked was if the first book started with, it doesn't have to be a prologue. It could have been you know how some books are broken up into different parts? Like maybe the first book could have been part 1, and the part 1 could have been that moment of, 200 years ago of what happened with Yesenia and Adrian. Because when they come back to each other, and him turning into a vampire. Because when they come back to each other 200 years later, then we would actually have we would actually care. Like, oh, wow, it's that girl that you loved 200 years ago. And I really want to see where this is going. And her not really wanting to fall in love with him, but him being patient with her. And I wish that it would have been obvious in the first book that that the goddess was controlling him. Because they mentioned it as like, oh, you can see like a white rim around his eyes that was kind of like glowing. Yeah. And it would have been cool if that was just maybe sprinkled in the first book. And I think that they tried to kind of bypass that by saying like, oh, well, he was her favorite. And now that he's kind of doing his own thing, that's why she's controlling him. But I don't know. Like, I feel like that wasn't strong enough for me. I wish that it would have been more obvious in the first one that he's doing all of this, yes, to get revenge for Isolde, but also because this is what the goddess wants. Like, she wants revenge for, I don't know. I think she just wants to be entertained, honestly.
Yeah.
And there's still some things that I'm not entirely sure about. And I don't know if it's because maybe I wasn't paying enough attention, but I know that the goddesses don't have power in their world. That's why they have these like vessels. That's why Adrian's there, and that's why the goddess Asha is like trying to form her own vessel, or maybe she has already. But I feel like there's still some things that I don't really understand. Like, how were the other monsters created then? Like, where did they come from? Like,
I don't know.
Were they just like a result of the red sky? Because now there's a permanent red sky over the kingdom of Rebecca because of, that night of when he was turned into a vampire. And I mean, I have other questions too, but I feel like overall, there's just some things that I wish were just explained a little bit more. And I already said it before, but I just wish that Isolde's character was a little bit better in this book. Hate that she slapped him. Honestly, it just pissed me off so much. And you know how much I love the first book. So when I was reading this book, I was like, why the fuck are they fighting again? It pissed me off so much. And I also didn't like that moment where they're having like hate sex, or like they're like reconciling through sex.
Oh my God, I think I know what you're going to talk about.
And she's like, is this how it's always going to be?
Dude,
and he was
I was just going to bring that up.
And
Can I read the quote?
What? Yeah, go ahead.
She says, "Is this how it will always be?" "What do you mean?" I asked. She pressed her head into the pillow, allowing me access to her neck. "We always fight and fuck."
What the fuck? I mean, okay, if you like hate sex, then, or whatever this is. What is this? What is this?
I don't know.
Whatever this is, if you like that, then go ahead and read it. But it pissed me off. I think it pissed me off because it happened so often. But overall, I'm just disappointed. I'm still down to read the next book to see if maybe these questions are answered. But I think I would give it a 2.
Damn. Oh my God. I'm a little shocked, to be honest.
Yeah, girl.
I knew you hated the slap thing. I knew it.
I swear to God, Scarlett, Scar? Can I call you that? If you're listening to this.
I hate it. Wait, what's her full name again? Scarlett St. Clair.
Claire, can I call you that?
S²C? Can I call you that? Dude,
Please don't turn this into Kikyo X Kagome. Thank you. Please don't. I love Inuyasha too, but don't do it.
Oh my God. Dude.
What?
I feel like, I don't know. I read these books. What's the word? Like right next to each other, like back to back.
Back to back.
I read these. Yeah, I read these books back to back. So I feel like I have lived many lives recently.
You have. You really have. More than Adrian, which was 200 years young.
I know, young. Thank you. Oh my God, I thought you were gonna make a mistake there.
No. He's very.
So
young.
I really hope Adrian and Derek end up together in the third book. Thank you.
No, I don't. But I don't know. I just wish.
No, I want to see it.
I hope that the romance is better the next book. I'll probably read it.
Romance
Let's be
kind
real.
of reminded me of.
Don't.
And you can hang up on me.
Don't do it. I know exactly who you're gonna say. I'm muting you.
Do you remember Hardin?
Shut up! Oh my God.
Dude, you can't tell me it doesn't though.
Get out. Get the fuck out.
We're not supposed to say the word fuck.
Oh, sorry. Get out. Fuck. I love that.
Oh my God.
We should keep doing that. That's funny.
I know we're never going to be non-explicit.
Never. But you know what I hate? You know what I hate?
What?
Is that they also cross my fucking mind. Sorry. Is that they also cross my mind. Fuck. Like, it pissed me off that I was also thinking like, oh my God, is this after 2.0?
Dude, it felt like it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Adrian is still more lovable than Hardin, okay? Please.
I don't know.
No, please.
Depends on the third book.
I will fucking cry right now. You know how I feel about after.
I know you. I know you love it. I mean, you bought the last book and left it at my house.
Well, because I knew how much you wanted it. So you're welcome.
I know. Fuck. Okay, sorry, I just had to throw that one in there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for everyone who is listening to us on podcast form, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on. Thank you so much. If you can leave a rating of 5 stars and a review, that helps so much.
That would mean the world to us too if you could do that, because I feel like it definitely helps us out to be more recommended to other people.
Yes. And if you can also tell your friends, your family, hated ones, loved ones about us, that actually helps a lot, because the best type of exposure is through word of mouth. If you are watching us on YouTube, we are currently just audio form, no video until Yajaira and I meet once again.
One day.
But one day. But we really appreciate it if you can please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can be caught up with our videos. We usually end these episodes by reading a review of the book, and we read the review based on a dice roll. So if it lands on an odd number, we read a negative review. If it lands on an even number, we read a positive review. But we cannot say anything about the review. So after it's read, we just leave it like that. And Yajaira has...
We just leave it in the air.
Yajaira has a digital dice. So whenever you're ready, I have the reviews open.
Okay. We got a 5.
That is an odd number. And we are going to read a negative review. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, this review is from Molly on Goodreads, who gave it a 1 star, and she says, "Trash, honestly. The author's note at the end mentioned she didn't know where the story was going, which showed, in my opinion. I was so over Isolde whining at every opportunity, and it only solidified my thoughts that besides a good sex life, she and Adrian didn't have a solid foundation to stand on in their relationship. I'm all for an overprotective male lead with touch, her and you die vibes, but also the impulsiveness at some of the things that Adrian did felt like they created more problems than solved them. Granted, the people he did kill were dicks, but still. That by the time it came for the giant reveal of who betrayed them, I was like, yeah, makes sense. There were only 3 people to choose from at this point. I also got the Barnes & Noble Special Content First Edition, and the graphic novel in the back made me sad. Like, no hate for the artist, but seeing the Adrian Isolde characters made me not want to root for them. My initial thoughts was, these are characters I'm supposed to be imagining in multiple sex scenes? Super upset I finished the book. I almost DNF'd it multiple times, but I figured most of her books I read for the vibes, but this killed the series for me. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you on Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you feel it? Do you feel it?
I feel free.
Time. Yeah, that too. But I was going to say it's almost time for us to be reunited.
Dude! Oh my god, I'm so excited to see you.
I know, it's been so long. Do you even remember what I look like? I mean,
honestly, I feel like you're not going to remember me. You're going to end up at someone else's house.
Your neighbors.
I know, and you're gonna do the podcast with them.
I hope they're funny.
Wait, are you saying I'm not funny? Wait.
No, that's why I'm saying it, because you're hilarious.
They don't say fuck like I do. They wouldn't get the joke. It would be funny. You'd be with them and you'd be like, yeah, let's have a good fucking time. I'm sorry, a good time. Fuck. And then my neighbor would be like, why are you here?
They'd be like, who even are you?